Hey folks, Nick Culbertson here, and this is an introduction and tutorial into a Now page template that I just created and made open source over on GitHub. So what is a Now page? If you head over to nownow.com, you'll see it was created by Derek Sivers, and the idea is it's a page to put on your website that's not an about page, it's not a contact page, it's more specifically what you're doing now and what you're focused on in your life. It could be your work focus or just what you're personally doing. For example, right now, I'm stuck at home during the pandemic, which many people are. But I've also been doing other fun stuff, like going through comic books and things like that. So let me just show you the template, and then we'll work our way through the code to see what you do. So this is what the template page will look like whenever you first start out. It has a round space for your image here. You can choose not to have it round, and it also doesn't have to be square, but these are just sort of the defaults. Your name, your website, so people can link right back to your website, even though this page is probably on your website. A header of what you're doing now, and then your sections and a description of what you're doing. Also have these social buttons on the bottom that you can choose to include or not include. It's your template, you get to do it and use it however you want. All right, and so this is how I used it for mine. I have a picture up here on the top, and then all these random little bits of things I've been working on or what I'm focused on currently. And yeah, I hope you get great use out of that. And now let me show you how to use it. You don't have to use this template, but I do think I've really found a lot of value of having a Now page on my site, at least that it helps me to sort of organize things in my mind of, yes, this is what I'm focused on. So it's almost like an affirmation in that regard. So here are the contents of the template whenever you download it from GitHub. There is your Now HTML, that's where your site will live. Now CSS, this is where all the little stylings for your divs and such will live. And then an image folder where we have the cover image. As I mentioned, it's a square by default, so you might want to replace that. Then you have your social icons for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and then a favicon for the little thing that's up in the corner beside your URL. All these can be changed out, or you can use the default ones. I have a sample image in there, so I can show you just in a minute how we change that. It's also mobile first, so as you resize the window, you can see everything still moves to where it looks nice, so which is valuable since most people are on that currently. And now let's jump into the code. So hopefully you have a code editor where you can edit your HTML. And I'll just work my way down the document. First you have your title and a description. I put in capital letters things like your name. Those are areas you can go in and change that information. And then embedding stuff for social media posts so that whenever you post your Now page onto Facebook and Twitter, it'll have a big image on it. All that stuff is provided here with these OG properties, and Twitter actually has its own. Here's for your favicon if you want to change that, or if you don't want a favicon, you can just delete that line. And here we're referencing our Now CSS, which are all of our styles. On the top, we have our image, and then scrolling down, we have our description of who you are, your header, and then these sections. This is a area that you can duplicate if you have multiple sections. Okay, and that'll look like this. So now you could have multiple sections with all your text in there. Okay, and then you just have the date, and here is your social section. If you don't want that, again, you can just delete that, and there's no social links on the bottom. Really, you can do whatever you want. Some of these are just set up to save you time when you're creating your page. And then here's a link to the template at the bottom of the page. You can choose to include that or you can delete it. But leave it in there if you want to share the love and have other people find the template as well. Okay, now let's look at the Now CSS file. And You can change anything in here you want. I guess I've said that now about 10 times, but if you want to not have the rounded corners on your image, then there's this border radius under the cover art. Just delete this section, save it, and then when we reload the page, you'll see it's no longer rounded. If you want to change the aspect ratio of it, say we have a standard image size and it's not square, then we might change our max width to 480 pixels here. And we'll leave the height the same because we want it to take up the same screen real estate. And so you'll change it here in your CSS, and I'm just pointing to a different image. Instead of it being cover PNG, it'll be this sample JPEG. Then let's reopen it since that is cached. Open it in Chrome. And now you can see our image fills up more of the screen real estate and it's not rounded. Then if I inspect the element, you can see that it also will resize as we resize our screen. Pretty cool. All right, scrolling down, let's see if there are any other points that I need to tell you about. Yes, here on the bottom, we have preferred color scheme. Since I have my computer set to dark, it is making this a dark background color and light text. And let me switch that over so you can see what it looks like if I'm not in dark mode. Okay, and here it is in light mode, so hopefully I'm not now burning your eyes out. But the background isn't 100% white and the text isn't 100% black, which does make it a little easier on the eyes to read this. So yeah, all the other information you'll be able to find on the GitHub page. So if you head over to GitHub, you will see it has all the documentation there. And I'll be updating this over time, so if you ever want to pull in any new changes, you'll find them here on the Git repo. And yeah, to actually download it, in case you're new to GitHub, you just click where it says code and download zip. I hope you found this video useful. I hope you find the template useful. If it does save you any time and you're feeling generous, then there is a donate button on the bottom of the repo. It's not required, but it's greatly appreciated. And yeah, after you get your page created, then head on over to nownow.com. You can message Derek and he'll actually add you to the directory of Now people who have created Now pages, and you'll become one of us. It's pretty cool. Also, he will retweet. It's automated people's Now page every once in a while. So yeah, it's cool. I hope you find it useful, and I'll see you in the next video.